What's up, you guys? Brother Justin here, coming at you with this week's Word on the Street. This week we're pulling our word out of Philippians chapter 1 verses 6 and 7. This is Paul writing here. He says, I am certain that God, who began the good work within you, will continue his work until it is finally finished on the day when Jesus Christ returns. So it is right that I should feel as I do about all of you, for you have a special place in my heart. You share with me the special favor of God, both in my imprisonment and in defending and confirming the truth of the good news. Paul wrote this letter to the church plant at Philippi as he sat in a prison cell, abruptly and most assuredly against what he imagined would be the furtherance of the gospel. We can relate to that. One Friday, life is normal. We leave school, no problem. By the next Monday, boom, the world's closed for business due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And now we feel like sometimes we're stuck in a prison right in our own homes. It completely disrupted our lives, what we do, our friends, the way we worship, and certainly how we thought the evangelical presence of the gospel would be taken forward. So his imprisonment looked like a massive disruption to his evangelical work. But he actually says, Paul that is, in verse 12, what has happened to me has actually served to advance the gospel. Even in Paul's current situation, he continues to make the declaration that he's willingly shackled to the sovereignty of God. And through his faith and his mission, the gospel continues to shine through. This phenomenon was observed by the guards. And after hearing Paul continue to profess the gospel, even though he's in prison, they too surrendered their life to the gospel. Alright, so this week, how are you going to pass on the word? You're going to do that by explicitly sharing your faith with others around you. Be encouraging to people, make a FaceTime call to an old friend, hang out with mom and dad, and find a way to connect. I hear all the time, I just don't connect with my parents. But hey, guess what? Now's the perfect time to find a place where you can connect with your parents. Next, be concerned, but don't be anxious. Put into practice the awesome stuff that our government and that the doctors around us have taught us about sanitizing and social distancing. Guys, don't become overwhelmed or overly negative about news feeds. We, as we talked about in the last video, we already know how the story ends. We know exactly what's going to happen. Remember, Jesus coming back with the triumphal parade. Lastly, I want to leave you with this thought. Be the gospel to everyone in your life. Don't look at this as a loss of connection or a loss of social connections with others or with your peers. Look at this as a new way to connect. Christ is pushing us to connect with people from where we are, just like he did Paul when he ended up in prison. He had somebody in that prison that he wanted Paul to minister to, and that was exactly God's sovereign will. And guess what? We're sitting at the house right now, so God must be pretty smart in putting us there. There must be somebody around us that needs to hear the gospel. Am I right? Thank y'all so much for coming out and checking out the Word on the Street this week. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment or like or subscribe or something. Until next week, Brother Justin, out.